So this is a 2012 Dodge Grand Caravan with 3.6 liter engine. This is apparently a fairly common problem with these. Over here you'll see down in here is where your oil filter housing is. There's a plastic pipe that runs from here under the plenum and comes out over here, and they're known for getting a leak in that pipe up underneath the plenum. So we'll have to remove the plenum to get in there and find out what's going on. I haven't done this one before, so we'll just be learning as we go, okay? I'll try to keep you up to speed. Okay, I removed the top of the air filter housing. I removed this piece which connects from the air filter over to the intake. And this is a vacuum hose. Kind of lays in here. You'll be able to figure this out yourself. Get that stuff out of your way. And then we're going to start unplugging stuff. Okay, in the back here, on this side of the plenum, you'll see there's a nut right here, and there's another one around the corner here. That's a metal bracket that's attached to the plenum. We're gonna have to deal with that. We got to get those two nuts back in there. Okay, there was a vacuum hose here, right there, which I pulled off. You've got a couple of sensors here. I had to unplug that. I had to unplug this one here off the throttle body. We had to remove a couple wiring harness clips. I've got another vacuum hose right here on the top. That takes care of that. I've got my two nuts off that I was telling you about earlier. One's there and one is right here. Now I'm going to pull the plenum bolts out and see where it goes. See what all else I have to take loose. Okay, to pull the plenum off, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Then there's 1 and 2, which are down in the hole there. You're going to need a 1/4 inch drive extension and an 8mm socket to get these two that are down in these holes. Then, surprise, there's a couple of more nuts that hold it onto a bracket. They're down in here under the front radiator hose here. There's one there and there's one on this side over here. I used a ratchet wrench to get them. Oh, I also pulled the dipstick tube out and laid it up here. That plastic dipstick tube is very easy to break. You always want to get it out of the way, because if not, Murphy's Law says you're going to lean on it and break it. So, even though I've removed all these bolts that hold the plenum down, and the two in the front, down here on the radiator hose, and I removed the two nuts back here off of this bracket, I still can't get the plenum off. I need to take this stud right there loose. Cross your fingers. Yeah, so once I got this guy out, that let me get the bracket off the pegs back there. Let's see if it'll let me lift the plenum off now. Yep, there it came. It came right on up off of there. So again, here's the two studs I was talking about a while ago that are hard to see. They're down there under the front radiator hose. I used a 10mm wrench to get the nuts off of them. Back there in the back, you can see where these two studs here and there, they were bolted to this bracket right here. And of course we had to get this bolt right here out from off the cylinder head, which was holding the bracket. Once we done all that, it let me lift the plenum off. And what do you know? There's a rat's nest in here. Literally. There's a mouse or something's been in here living. Okay. Whatever, dude. Now, it looks like I gotta pull the intake off this thing now. I've got the plenum up, but that's not solving my problem. Let me get back with you. So I'm gonna call this video, title this one plenum removal. I'm going in deeper than this, but by removing the plenum, which is what we just did, you could access the coils. You've got an individual coil per cylinder. You pull the plenum off. If you need to change a coil or do a tune-up, my suggestion usually is if you're going to pull the plenum, put new coils in everywhere, because you don't want to have to go back a month or two from now because one of the coils went bad. So I'm going to title this video Plenum Removal 2012 Dodge Grand Voyager. So I'm going to make a second video, which is going to be the removing of the intake, because my leak is under the intake. This is Grinder. Thank you. I do what I can to help you, and I'll try to never steer you wrong. So look for me on YouTube, Jeff Hash, Grinder Auto.